Hi guys, it's s7yler here, and in this video I'm going to review the Cubot X16 in white, a very sleek 5-inch phone with a pretty nice design. Personally, I'm a big fan of compact 5-inch phones, so thumbs up for that Cubot. The price on this mid-range model is very low, and for that you get a phone with decent hardware and a very good build quality. I absolutely love how the phone feels in the hand and the thin and compact size. The X16 comes with the MTK 6735 quad-core clocked at 1.3 GHz. It has a 5-inch IPS Full HD JDI display, 2.5D curved front glass, which is also very scratch resistant. It comes out of the box with Android 5.1, has 4G LTE with support also for band 20, 2GB RAM and 16GB ROM, USB on the go, micro SD card support, a 13 megapixel main camera, interpolated to 16 megapixel with dual LEDs on the back, CNC alloy frame, and last but not least a 2500 mAh battery that is enough for one whole day with normal usage. And here you can see the accessories. So first of all, we have the box here in the background. We have a cardboard with some pictures. We have the quick start guide in English. There's a screen protector. Also we see here the micro USB cable. We have the wall charger. This one is just a standard one, 5 volt, 1 amp. We have a small pin to open up the SIM tray. And there is also a plastic cover, hard case to protect the back of the phone. So that's it. Now to the phone details. On the top we find the light and proximity sensor, a notification LED with multicolor, the ear speaker together with a 5 megapixel front camera that is interpolated to 8. The phone has a 5.0 inch 1080p Full HD JDI IPS display with good viewing angles, and this display is incredibly bright, sharp and vivid. The glass is 2.5D arc, so it is a bit curved in the edges. In the bottom we find the menu, home and back buttons, which unfortunately doesn't light up. On the back side, which is non-removable and made of glass, we have a 13 megapixel rear camera with autofocus and 2.2 aperture, together with a good dual LED flash. And the camera manages to make some decent shots in daylight, while in low light they get a bit grainy. Inside the phone we will also find a 2500 mAh non-removable battery. It could be bigger, but it is possible to get through the day with average usage. I measured the capacity to be real, while the charging time was rather slow, about 3 hours for a full charge. And last we see the brand and also a CE logo, and that is good if it should be stopped by the customs. In the bottom of the phone we just find the micro USB port with USB OTG support, and the microphone is located on the front, near the edge, a very small hole. On the right side we find the volume rocker together with the power button, and they are kind of small, but both feel nice to press and pretty responsive. In the top we find the 3.5mm headphone jack, which provides loud and clear sound with nice bass. And last on the left side we find a dual SIM tray, which you have to open up with a small pin. The phone supports extra micro SD card, micro and nano SIM, but only max 2 cards at the same time. So let me open up for the dual SIM tray and let's have a close up of the tray. And here the Cubot X16 in comparison with the Leagoo Elite 1. Notice how much thinner the X16 is, so you can see it's really sleek. And now let's have a look at the phone. It supports double tap to wake. And this is the lock screen. We have some shortcuts as always here in the bottom. Let me just unlock. So this is the stock UI, and the launcher is almost a stock experience. We also see the icons. Let me just scroll a little bit here in the UI so you can see how smooth it is. Let me also show you some of the apps, and most of these I installed myself, some test apps and a game and so on. but it came actually with Clean Master and also Opera Mini. So these are the only bloatware, I would call them, pre-installed on the ROM. And we also see here gesture control. This is just a shortcut. And the phone also supports off-screen gestures. Let's try M, for example, to start up YouTube. And you can also double tap the home to lock, double tap to wake, double tap home again to lock. So that's very convenient. And there's also support for air gestures, for example here in the gallery. Let's try to hold the home button and we see the multitasking overview. And here we also see some informations about the battery, memory, and we also see the temperature. So that's nice. You can click on this button to clear the memory. And let's have a look here in the quick toggles. Let's try out the highest brightness. Let me try out the lowest. And let's have a closer look at the buttons, the capacitive touch buttons in the bottom. And these have no kind of backlight. They are just painted in silver. Here we also see the microphone hole. And in the top we will also find a multicolored notification LED. And let's try to change the wallpaper to something else. So you can see the bezels. You notice here already that we have here the black border around the display. And unfortunately this is very common on China smartphones. But if you change to the black wallpaper again, it's not so visible. So I guess that's why it comes with the black wallpaper out of the box. And also if you turn off this display, it looks like one big black piece. You can't see the black border at all. So this can be good and bad. And some few words regarding the reception and the connectivity. So while I tested the phone, the network and the Wi-Fi was average, I would say. You can see here the Wi-Fi here can go a little bit down sometimes, but overall the connection is stable and fast. And right now I'm using dual SIM, 2 SIM cards with 3G. But of course the phone supports 2G, 3G and also 4G LTE. Let's try out the test call. Let's see the proximity sensor. This is working. Let's try the speaker.
You have 1 new messages, 0 saved messages. To listen to today's messages.
And my impression about the quality of the ear speaker and microphone is in my opinion about average. And let's have a look inside the camera app. So this one here is a little bit different than the stock one. You can see we have no options here in the top, but if you click here, you can see these icons. We have multi-angle mode, we have face beauty and so on. So all the features are in this button instead in the top. And I can also click here to get the color filters. Of course, we also have here HDR, the flashlight and the front camera. Let's see here in the settings. And we see here up to 16 megapixels, but these are interpolated in 4:3. The real megapixels will be 13. And in video mode, noise reduction, electronic image stabilization, video quality up to fine, full HD. And here are some samples. And as always, I will also provide a link in the description to some camera samples in high resolution. To see the quality, I suggest to take a look at these and be the judge yourself. And let's check out the autofocus. So we can see it works, but it's a little bit slow. Not the fastest I've seen, but it works. And the quality is sharp and nice. And the front-facing camera is actually also nice and good for selfies with a lot of detail, but unfortunately there is no autofocus in the front-facing. Let's also try a picture here in the dark. Okay, so it takes a little bit of time to focus, but still it's working. We'll place the camera a little bit further away and let's try again. Okay, so yeah, the dual LEDs are not the strongest, but they are okay, I would say. Let's just check out the LEDs and let me turn on the torch. So here you see dual LEDs. And these are not dual tone, just two white LEDs on the rear side. Average. And here now to the viewing angles. You can see really good viewing angles. And now some few words regarding the 3.5mm headphone jack. When you use earphones, the sound is clear and loud, so it's possible to listen to good music with this phone. And now let's have a look inside the phone settings. First of all, we have hot nod. Works a little bit like NFC to send files from one phone to another, but both phones need to have the hot nod feature. Let's see, in SIM cards we have SIM 1 and 2, and you can set both to mobile data. Let me scroll down to display. Support for mirror vision, you can tweak the colors and the color temperature and so on. And we also see something for the notification light. So here you can change the colors, for example for charging, blue, red or green. Then we find gesture control. Let's see, in air gestures, screen on gestures, we have screen off gestures, screen on, double tap to wake, and also a pocket protection. You can add new gestures. Okay. Let's see in sound and notifications, and here you can also change power on tone, power off tone. Some people sometimes are annoyed by the high tone. When you power on the device, you can disable this here. Then we have the storage, phone storage, and we can see total space and available. Has support for micro SD card and also USB on the go. Let's see the RAM consumption. About 1 GB is free of 2. Here cached. And let's have a look inside the language. So it's multi-language. And inside accessibility we also find something. What we see here is also Clean Master. Somehow it's integrated into the settings. And last we have About Phone. We see the build number, Android version 5.1. We have the model number and support for wireless updates, OTA. So that's it for the settings. And here you can see USB on the go. Just connected here a USB stick, and it's found as external USB storage. So I would say the sound is average, not the best and also not the worst I have heard. And now to the live GPS test that I recorded outside. So you could see the GPS quality with GPS tester, and you can see the log is pretty fast. The accuracy on 6, it supports GLONASS. In U16, now down on 3 meters in accuracy. And also the signals are pretty strong, up to 40. Now on 2 meters, and it's very stable. Overall a nice GPS. In the rest of the video I'm going to run some different test apps, show you some results, and end this with a game test and my list of personal pros and cons. So if you want to know more, stay tuned. Now to my pros and cons. First the pros. It has a very low price. It's very sleek and nice designed with great build quality. It has a notification LED with multicolor. The front glass is very scratch resistant. It has LTE band 20 support. It has a very good and bright JDI display and there is no clouding or pressure marks. The OS runs in 64-bit mode That is also supported by the CPU, and I did not experience any kind of serious overheating. The cameras are okay for quick snapshots, and it has strong dual LEDs on the rear side. To the cons are that the capacitive touch buttons are without any kind of backlight. There's no IR blaster, NFC, fingerprint scanner or wireless charging. And the charging is also rather slow. There's no fast charge, so a full charge can take up to about 3 hours. It has very few built-in sensors. In fact, it only has the 3 most important ones. It has a very standard cheap built-in rear speaker, which is loud, but the sound quality is just average. And also the CPU is not the fastest, but most games will run okay, but probably not good enough for hardcore gamers. And last, the display has a big black border which is kind of ugly to look at. But unfortunately that is something we see on really many China phones. That's it for the review. Remember also to check out my blog. You'll find the link in the video description. If you have any questions, please comment below, give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.